All right, what's up guys? So in this video, I'm going to talk about rank and rent and why you need better SEO skills in 2026. In this video, I'm going to review some sites that are out there that are really kind of using outdated techniques. I'm going to talk about how backlinks are no longer the biggest ranking factor and how structuring your site correctly and building topical coverage over time on your site makes one of the biggest difference for the site. I'm somebody that's been doing rank and rent for over 11 years. Here's a dashboard that I've created where you can see I'm generating over 100 calls every day. This dashboard also comes with its own website builder as well. And this dashboard can also API connect into a client's CRM where we can see in real time what kind of quotes they're doing, what kind of jobs that they're closing. I've also been teaching this rank and rent model for the last 5 years, so I have a lot of experience when it comes to teaching this stuff. I also just launched a brand new community/coaching program in 2026. I just launched it in January. All my training videos are brand new, and I already have students that are getting clients just 1 to 2 months into the program. And one of the reasons that makes me really good at rank and rent is the fact that I've ranked a globally ranked site, epay.com. I've had this site for over 7 years. It has over 2,000 articles. I don't run any paid ads for my coaching program. I generate all my traffic for the coaching program with this blog organically by ranking in Google. And I know there's some rank and rent people out there saying that you can still use the old tried and true method to do this business model, but this is entirely not true. Understand that rank and rent is completely dependent on your ability to rank. This is the first word in this entire business model, is to rank. Understand that search engine is constantly comparing different websites. And search engine has algorithms where higher quality sites will always outrank lower quality sites. This is how Google's search engine improves over time. And I started this business model over 11 years ago. There's far less people that had an SEO knowledge. There's way less companies as well. Definitely way less people trying to do rank and rent. So 11 years ago, you could get away with building a very basic site and you could do quite well ranking these types of sites. Here's an example of a rank and rent site that is formatted and built. This is in the previous old community that I was part of. This is the format that we taught it, and it's like a wall of text, and these kind of sites could still get the rankings. And you might still be able to get away with a site like this, but this is less and less possible because this site can easily now be outranked with a site that is doing a much better job with semantic SEO, which has to do with the words on the page, better topical coverage, which has to do with all the different pages that you build on the site, and understanding the impact of UI UX design on a site and what it does, and how the Google search engine has developed various new patents to be able to better understand higher quality websites. Because at the end of the day, Google's entire business depends on the fact that when people use Google, that the user is satisfied with what they find on the first page of Google. So understanding and doing better SEO, you're actually improving the user experience with Google. Understand that backlinks have become less impactful in the last 2 to 3 years because backlinks can easily be manipulated. It used to be where you could do PBNs, or which are expired domains, and set them up and point backlinks to your site, and that was oftentimes enough to get the rankings. But these days, Google is a lot more strict on what kind of backlinks actually pass ranking power. The backlinks now need to come from sites with traffic, and it has to have some relevance. 2 years ago, there was a Google API leak that showed that there's an actual formula that calculates the value of backlinks by the traffic and impression of where that backlink is coming from. So if you set up a random PBN and it's not getting any traffic at all, chances are that backlink, with all that time you invested, isn't really moving the needle. So this leads to the next conclusion for SEOs, which is what are things that Google is actually looking at that actually matter today. So let's take a look at one of these sites here. Now, this concrete site is slightly better than the street care site. It has more pictures. It's breaking down the keywords a little bit better. And Google does have patent now that I can actually not just read the content, but I can actually look at there's different elements on the page that's breaking up the content. So Google is now able to also look at the design of the site as well. But yet there's many different things that I see wrong on this site, such as they're purposely bolding these words with and trying to rank for these types of keywords with the city, but they're overdoing it. So this can actually hurt you. It's called over optimization. This is not a good first section for the site. You should actually clearly define the entity, which is the brand, and clearly show what it does, the expertise, and all the different services it does, as opposed to listing all these different cities and actually linking to them is actually hurting you, because this is passing unnecessary link juice to other sub-city pages, which you do not want to do. And when you look at the first section of this site here, I don't see any unique entities, unique statistics. I don't see unique information gain on this paragraph, which is a big risk and a minus. So what Google bots does is it'll often only read the first 2-3 paragraphs of the site to determine the quality of the site. And if they don't see quality in those first few paragraphs, then the crawler won't really even read the rest of your site. What you have to understand is that every time Google crawls your site, it's costing Google some money. Okay, so Google has algorithms to try to make that process as efficient, as cost effective as possible. Google already doesn't trust a brand new site. Every rank and rent site you build is a new site. So you have to actually go above and beyond in terms of the quality score to convince Google to actually start crawling your site more, and then eventually deciding that your site is more quality than your competitor's site and ranking ahead of them. Here's another issue that I see here. It's never a good idea to stack all these different keywords on top of each other without a good explanation below. They're also repeating the city after the keyword way too many times here. This is called keyword stuffing. This used to work like 10 years ago, but right now it's actually hurting the site. It's not really helping you at all. I understand why they did it, right? Because some people might search drywall repair Knoxville, Tennessee, but this is completely unnecessary. Google already knows this site belongs to Knoxville, Tennessee, so you don't need Knoxville, Tennessee here. You just need driveway repair, but you need a better description for what drywall repair they do. And in my community, I go much more in depth as to what kind of content would you put under a section like driveway repair, because if you just prompt ChatGPT with a simple prompt, it's going to give you the most basic definition of a driveway repair. But the problem with that is a lot of other sites have defined driveway repair in much the same way. So what different things can you include into that content to make it more unique? It's never a good idea as well to have this long of a section for a concrete patio. There needs to be a use of H3s in here as well to break up the content some and have a clear defined purpose for each section. This helps the Google bots better understand what's on your page in a more cost-effective way, as opposed to a long text that Google's bot has to read. They can read H2s and H3s, and the H3s are really well connected to this main topic here. It makes it a lot easier for Google's bots to understand your content. Not to mention, when you continue to have walls of text like this, it makes it way more unpleasant experience for an actual human trying to read through this content. And traditionally, what rank and rent people have done is they didn't really care for the end user experience. They figured most people aren't going to read this content anyway, so why does it matter? Just create content that increase the word count and stick some keywords in here. However, what you begin to understand is that Google is also scanning how people traverse through the site through the Google Chrome browser. So having wall of text like this and having people not read it or not skim through it is really going to hurt your site over the long run. By the way, this site is ranked on page 1, so it just goes to show if you have superior SEO skills, there isn't much saturation yet in rank and rent, because the person with the higher level SEO understanding and knowledge is always going to be able to outrank existing rank and rent sites or other company sites. So here's an example. This is more of a company site. To have testimonials at the top of that page is not a good idea. I understand why they did it, because they want to be able to sell, but this is breaking up the topical hierarchy. Again, this is still not ideal first section. The opening sentence starts about talking about investments, growing up in East Tennessee and running business of your own. There's no listing of keywords here. There's no content here that explains the expertise. There's no unique information that Google can understand that this guy's a true expert. So this is a pretty generic content that is actually hurting the site right here, even though when a human reads it, it might seem fine. This is a decent section, but again, it's not a good idea to link to all these different pages from the home page. You're actually diluting the page rank. Also, the description, it's better than sticking all the keywords on top of each other, but the description is reading quite generic. On my sites, I include things that make these descriptions even more authoritative. unique entities, unique statistics, unique engineering terms, things of that nature, and more. I would expand on the FAQ section more. Also, there's a whole issue of conversions with this site. There's no clear call to action. There's no quote forms. They have decent amount of service pages, but I would even build more. They don't have any subsidy pages, which is also hurting them. If we take this site and go to Google and do a site semicolon search, we can see how many pages that this site is indexed for. So as you can see here, they only have 8 pages indexed in Google, which is very low. And yet this site is still ranking. Just goes to show, like, with superior SEO skills, this site can easily be outranked. If you do a site semicolon for one of my Windows sites, as you can see, I have 82 pages indexed, including a bunch of subsidy pages, which is all getting clicks. This all goes to building a lot of topical authority on the site. And you have to be careful with building each of these pages as well, because if you just use a simple prompt with ChatGPT or Claude, you end up getting very basic content output like this, right? Here's an example of content that is providing no unique value to the internet. Therefore, Google didn't even index this. So this is one of my students' site that he didn't follow my directions for these off pages. He just used basic prompt, and he attended my live coaching calls that I do on a weekly basis, and I pointed out all the issues with these pages. So he's going to redo these pages. But yeah, you can't just pump out low quality pages on your site either and expect those sites to get indexed. Each one of these sites still need high enough unique information gain score with Google for it to index and start helping your site, as opposed to having these sites sit there and not do anything. So most people think in terms of SEO, just build really good content. They don't really know how to do that, and just build backlinks. These are strategies of 10 years ago. Now you have to understand much deeper concepts with SEO and Google's algorithm, such things as the fact that Google is an algorithm that wants to rank authority sites. And the reason why is that it actually saves Google cost if they can rank one authoritative site for multiple different search queries as opposed to 10 different sites for those same exact search queries. It's a lot cheaper for Google to favor one site that can cover that topic really well and all the related topics, because it just has to crawl one site as opposed to multiple different sites. This is an extremely key concept to understand, because most people building these local sites are not thinking on this level, which means this is a vector in which you can outdo most local sites and take advantage of their weaknesses. Before we understand topical coverage and the importance of that, we first must understand Google has a knowledge graph. So here's an example of a knowledge graph. So we have the keywords concrete in Knoxville, Tennessee, and Google already knows in its knowledge graph the different keywords and the relationship between words, right? So concrete in Knoxville, it's a local contractors. We got topics like Knoxville neighborhood, commercial concrete, residential concrete, concrete cost, Knoxville weather. Now, does this mean that you should build pages for all of these from the homepage? Not necessarily. You have to understand the proper hierarchy depending on the central entity of the site, which basically means what is the main purpose of the site. The main purpose of this site in particular is to generate leads for concrete contractors. So you're not going to place a page about Knoxville weather super close to the home page. A topic like Knoxville weather is going to be on the outer section of the site, meaning topics that are closest to the home page are going to be more like the service pages, right? What concrete contractor does: driveway concrete, patio, sidewalk, concrete repair, commercial concrete. And then from commercial concrete, you can choose to branch out to concrete for parking lots, concrete for industrial buildings, concrete for apartments. And from concrete for apartments, then there's other connected topics like permits that are needed to do concrete for apartments, different techniques or different styles of concrete used for apartment buildings. Now, as these pages, which none of your competitors are building, starts getting traffic and clicks, that authority will begin to carry over to the central part of the site, which over time is going to boost the entire site's rankings. This gives you an ability to take advantage of gaps in the knowledge graph that your competitor sites have. So this is an example, let's just say, of a competitor site. They have built a lot of the similar pages that other concrete companies have built. And maybe they're talking about a few other blog posts and other topics as well, but there's massive gaps in the knowledge graph. Whereas this kind of graph shows more of a site that is much more comprehensive and it's covering all the different gaps. The more you can do this without expanding your site radius too much, the more all these pages are gonna get clicks, the more authority passes through your site, and the better you're gonna rank, and Google will begin looking at you as an authority, because it's much cheaper for Google to rank this one singular site as opposed to 5 of these kind of sites. Again, here's another example of the knowledge graph. Google understands that Steve Jobs is connected with the topic of San Francisco, iPhone, Apple, California in 2007. And then in the content, when you link to these different topics, it has to be in the right context as well. This is why I love Rank and Rent, because SEO is much deeper knowledge than most people realize. Even people that's been doing SEO and Rank and Rent for quite some time, I would say 80 to 90% of people doing SEO or Rank and Rent are not, especially in local, are not doing these types of strategies. And these type of strategies are not easily visible. Even if you were to analyze any of my sites, the homepage and all the service pages, you're not going to be able to see all the other pages that is creating authority for my site, because those pages are not visible from the menu. This gives me a competitive advantage in this space. And this is why a business model that relies on more specialized skill set, such as SEO, you're going to do much, much better in the long run, because in every business you need some type of competitive advantage. For example, if you're just in a business model of being a content creator, the problem with that is anyone can grab a phone and film themselves content today, and you're competing with so much more people. You don't really have much of an edge. In much the same way, building simple rank and rent websites like these, you're having much, much less edge now, because people can create these types of content with a click of a button now with simple AI prompts. So you need to be able to go much deeper and have deeper understanding of Google's algorithm these days to get predictable results with rank and rent. Because think about it. Let's say you build 10 rank and rent sites, and fortunately 3 of those with using very basic SEO knowledge, maybe 3 of those sites you could get away with, and then they rank, and because they were very low competition niches, and those do fine for you. But let's just say 3, 4, 5 of those sites, you're going into cities and niches where other companies have built more or less very similar quality types of site from you. Now your results are going to be far less consistent. So again, SEO is something that is constantly getting deeper, and it's changing. The things that I'm doing on my sites is completely different than the SEO that I was doing 5 years ago, much less 10 years ago. Okay, so if you're serious about starting Rank and Rent and you're thinking of joining a coaching program, you need to learn from a coach that's actually still doing the actual Rank and Rent business model himself. And this is what separates me, which is that in the last year alone, I built and ranked over 150 sites, which you can see here. Also, every year I travel overseas to various SEO masterminds where I'm connected with some of the top SEOs of the world. Some of these SEOs do advanced gray hat SEOs for gambling or casino companies. Some of those SEOs are doing SEO for some of the top supplement companies. I also have a team of 20 people that you can see in the Slack channel, and in the local lead gen channel here, you can see all of my team working on my rank and rent sites. So I highly advise when picking for a rank and rent coach that the coach can actually show you that they're actually still in the business. Because too many times, not just in rank and rent, but many other coaching programs, you have a coach that's only done it a couple times and now they're just focused on selling info. Because a lot of SEO is nuanced, which is why in my coaching program, I can show you a lot more of that nuance through a live coaching call that I do on a weekly basis, where I'm able to critique student sites in real time and offer feedback. So again, if you're interested and serious about rank and rent, which is, in my experience, still by far the best way to create long-term passive income, click on the link in the description. Again, I just launched this brand new coaching program this year. In my opinion, I'm one of the most experienced people teaching this right now. And on the next page, I'm going to walk you through this business model much more in depth and show you how I can help you. All right, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be dropping more of these rank and rent videos. And if you have any questions, shoot me a comment down below. I will be personally answer all the questions that I get. Talk to you guys later.